An intriguing footage has come out of Russia, which is very embarrassing for President Putin. Russia appears to have suffered a failed test of an intercontinental ballistic missile after a launch from the Yasny range in the Orenburg region exploded only seconds after takeoff. The missile, which many experts believe was the Sarmat ICBM, barely cleared the silo before the malfunction occurred. According to early assessments, the missile climbed to an altitude of only about 200 to 400 meters before it detonated in midair. The failed test ended with the weapon crashing back to the ground and leaving behind a distinct purple-colored toxic plume. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why test failure of Sarmat ICBM is troubling news for President Putin. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted and fastest VPN brand that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte. NordVPN provides a 256-bit encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy and also enables you to access contents that are blocked based on geolocation. Its threat protection system helps you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. NordVPN application is available for all the major platforms as well as browsers. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive saving by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Open-source analysts and defense observers have pointed to several converging clues that strongly suggest the failed launch involved the RS-28 Sarmat. The reasons are as follows. 1. Launch site and silo compatibility. Yasny is part of the Dombarovsky Missile Force Complex, one of the few facilities in Russia capable of housing and launching liquid fuel ICBMs. Historically, it has hosted R-36, NATO designation, SS-18 Satan missiles. Since the Sarmat was built specifically to replace the R-36, it was designed to use the same silos. 2. Fuel signature, hypergolic liquid propellant. The strange purple smoke is a critical indicator. Videos and imagery from the failed launch show a dense violet cloud, a hallmark of hypergolic propellants such as nitrogen tetroxide, NTO, and unsymmetrical dimethylhydrazine, UDMH, commonly known as heptyl. These fuels have been used for decades in Soviet and Russian heavy ICBMs, including the original R-36. The Sarmat also uses the same propellant combination. Propellant smoke coloration, combined with the rapid crash, matches the profile of past Sarmat and R-36 test failures. A strong chemical fingerprint pointing directly at a Sarmat-class vehicle. 3. Fallback launch site. In September 2024, satellite imagery revealed a massive crater at the Plesetsk silo, following what analysts believe was a Sarmat launch failure. With that silo destroyed, Yasny naturally becomes the next likely site to resume testing. That sequence, destroyed silo, sudden shift to Yasny, failed launch, strengthens the hypothesis that Russia was trying to get the Sarmat program back on track. 4. Absence of alternatives. Alternative explanations like a UR-100 missile with an avant-garde warhead or a commercial space rocket do not convincingly fit the evidence. The UR-100N uses similar fuel, but that system has been largely retired. Meanwhile, Russia has not announced any space launch operations from Yasny. Independent analysts have argued that the combination of location, fuel signature, and political timing makes Sarmat the most plausible candidate. RS-28 Sarmat, known to NATO as Satan II, is Russia's most powerful intercontinental ballistic missile and has long been showcased as the centerpiece of Moscow's next-generation nuclear arsenal. First unveiled during President Vladimir Putin's 2018 State of the Nation address, the missile was promoted as a strategic system capable of penetrating any existing or future ballistic missile defense network, ensuring Russia's ability to maintain credible nuclear deterrence against the United States and NATO. Sarmat is a three-stage, liquid-fueled ICBM with the exact propellant details classified. It is an exceptionally large missile, weighing around 200 tons, making it the heaviest ICBM in the world. For comparison, the U.S. Minuteman III weighs roughly 35 tons. According to Russian claims, Sarmat can reach speeds exceeding Mach 20, giving it the ability to deliver its warheads at extreme velocity while executing evasive maneuvers. Military expert Alexei Leonkov speaking earlier to Radio Sputnik, described Sarmat as a formidable deterrent and noted the intense scrutiny it has drawn from Western analysts. He pointed out that US and European media have often labeled the system with dramatic titles, including Satan, Devil in Disguise, and a weapon of nuclear hell, reflecting concerns about its potential destructive capacity. Lyakov claimed that Sarmat has an estimated range of up to 18,000 kilometers, or about 12,000 miles, enabling it to strike virtually any point on the planet. He added that the missile can carry 10 to 15 independently targetable warheads, each with a yield of up to 750 kilotons, and that these warheads would approach targets at hypersonic speeds while maneuvering, tactics intended to overwhelm US missile defense systems. For context, the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima had a yield of just 15 kilotons. If fully loaded with 15 warheads at maximum yield, Sarmat's combined destructive power would reach approximately 11,000 kilotons, making it one of the most devastating strategic weapons ever fielded. The missile is also expected to be compatible with Russia's hypersonic boost glide vehicles and equipped with decoys designed to confuse interceptors. The development of R-28 Sarmat ICBM is a significant undertaking which has required extensive resources and time. It is actually one of the most expensive projects being persuaded by the Russian military. If the failed launch at Yasny was indeed a Sarmat test, this has major implications for Russia's strategic arsenal, since the missile is intended to be the backbone of Russia's heavy nuclear strike force. Repeated test failures cast doubt on when or whether it will become fully operational. For global security observers, the incident underscores the risks of relying on liquid-fuel super-heavy ICBMs, not only for program reliability, but also for environmental and regional safety. The toxic heptyl plume dispersed over populated areas presents serious health and ecological hazards. Finally, the meltdown at Yasny suggests that Russia may face months, possibly years, of delays in fielding the Sarmat at scale. Until more successful launches occur, the strategic value of the missile remains more rhetorical than real, helping explain Moscow's continued secrecy over the incident. Many analysts had already questioned the true readiness of Russia's nuclear forces, especially in light of the poor performance demonstrated by several of its conventional weapon systems in Ukraine conflict. These latest failures only reinforce those concerns and lend greater weight to doubts about the reliability of Russia's strategic weapons.